Hello, Star Wars fans. This is Anditesh Ordo. Today, I want to talk about a possibility for a new animated series for Star Wars. Of course, Dave Filoni did talk about there's going to be more animated series in the last year's Star Wars Celebration. It's just they wanted to worry more about finishing up Rebels before they started that big reveal. So I'm sure probably this year's Celebration will probably reveal or hint at that, but we'll see what happens in that time when that time comes. So I do want to talk about this very interesting concept of the Commandos series. It'd be Star Wars Commandos. So yes, it would take place during Clone Wars era, and there's a lot of things that could still be flushed out of Clone Wars that the Clone Wars TV series did not do. Granted, this would be more military feel. It'd be clone commando based. Even though, yes, there would still be some Jedi that would pop in and out. Maybe this would be a great chance to give a few Jedi, more backstory, like Quinlan Voss, or maybe a little bit more in Kit Fisto. Who knows? There's a lot of Jedi that could get some more backstory that isn't just the main focus around Anakin Skywalker. Don't get me wrong, Clone Wars to me was great. It probably wasn't as good as the old micro series, at least on some of the character development. But I did like how Clone Wars turned out for the most part. There was still a lot of disappointing things with retconning like Mandalorians and changing Korriban to Morband. That was just, I don't know. Unless it was a Galactic Republic, we're just going to change the name of this planet. They could at least do that. Made it make sense. But anyways, going into this though, the Commando series, I feel like it would be a great animated option. It would give huge backstory to Delta Squad, first off. Probably the star of the animated series would be Delta Squad. But also, there's also the option of getting stories in with ARC Troopers, because they are advanced recon commandos. So this animated series would give a lot of different ARC Troopers more backstory, and even stories about Gregor. Give some more backstories. Let us know what happened on how he ended up on the planet he did when D Squad found him. But another big squad that would be great to learn more about would be Bad Batch, or Clone Force 99. Giving them an introduction, gives us more backstory on what happened during the cloning facilities. And I feel like a great way to introduce this animated series would be a movie. Yes, we've kind of a lot of us already have seen it, which it's not as animated as they could finish it up, but the Bad Batch 4-episode arc, they could easily turn that into a movie, because that runtime is about an hour and 20 or so minutes, but they could add probably another 20 to 30 minutes more of info into that. Any of the cut shots that they decide to cut out, they could probably add those in, give more backstory, more meaning. Plus, they'd have to fill in the little episode, because at the end of the episode, you'd get that ending part, and then at the beginning of the next episode, you get the backstory of the previous episode, or episodes, and then it would kind of start somewhere a little bit else. But you can kind of mesh those together to make it okay. So we do see a dropship picks them up, takes them back to base before they go to another planet to find Echo, that kind of thing. When they first find out, Echo is still alive. But that would be a great movie to pull into. And then even if they had an introduction at the beginning of the starting roots of Clone Force 99, it'd be great. It'd be just a great way to segregate that in. And then that would be a great introduction movie. That way we could see it. And of course, the Kashyyyk episodes that they were supposed to bring out in Clone Wars, they can take those and throw them in a later season of episodes for when they cover more Clone Force 99. So yeah, that'd be some great options. Now some of you might be thinking this would be a great in live action. I agree and disagree to that because you got to think you'd be taking Tamora Morrison away from what he's planning on doing and throw him into acting all these different clone trooper scenes and all that. Unless they do find someone else, but even then, that just doesn't feel right on live action. Clones were originally, Tamora Morrison or Jango Fett, and I feel like that would just take away a lot of time from him because he's probably still in the process of going to what movies he's going to, visiting his family and stuff like that. That'd be pretty busy to put him into like a 1 to 5 season a show just telling stories of the Clone Wars. And so that's why I would say it'd be better for animation, but it'd be still cool to see as a actual live TV series. So don't get me wrong on that. But at least that's what I'm assuming on Tamora Morrison's, thing. But he is getting up there in age. It's been like over 10 years since, Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones. Not, so he did have to really do some makeup tricks. But, he's still, don't get me wrong, he'd still be great at it. I'm not saying nothing about that. So, but going back to it, though, as an animated series, I feel like that would be a great opportunity to, bring the stories of the Republic Commandos. Like the Republic Commandos, maybe here and there, are led by Quinlan Vos and a few Jedi. And then, when Delta Squad hears Execute Order 66, they go after, the Jedi that they're with. Probably not Quinlan Vos. I feel like Quinlan Vos could still use some backstory or continue into the Galactic Republic era, but I don't know what they're doing with that. But I'm just saying this would be a great opportunity. I don't know if anyone agrees with me or disagrees with me, but I feel like this would be a great opportunity to bring, get us more familiar with the ARC troopers, the clone commandos, and any other type of commando they decide to create, if they decide to create. But I feel like just, leaving, those specializations the way they are, it'd be great. It'd be great to bring them in that way. And they would also, it would give them a chance to also introduce new clone commandos that may or may not die off in some heroic way. Same with ARC troopers. There's a lot of ARC troopers and legends that can be brought back. Like ARC Alpha. Like he could still, like he's, he'll see an order from like Anakin Skywalker and he'll go off and execute it while, Rex is with Anakin helping him out. So that could be, a thing. Also, another few things they could actually do with this series is tell some more backstory of like the cloning facilities, the training they go through, who trained them, how they were trained. I feel like I do hope in this instance that they kind of keep similar or keep really familiar to Legends, where Jango Fett's Mandalorian, so that'd be a great way to reveal that he's still Mandalorian. Of course, they could also make it to where, he actually states that in some form or faction that Death Watch, have a hate towards, towards him because of, what happened, in Legends, could still happen in the canon. And he was Mandalorian, then he decided to leave that and he just went bounty hunting. And that's why no one considers him a Mandalorian. None of the Death Watch. That's why you get the line from Almec in Clone Wars where he's saying that he's just a simple bounty hunter, found the suit or something, or whatever his lines were. So, at least they could, bring it back to where Jango Fett is a Mandalorian. I feel like he would be perfect still as a Mandalorian. So many fans would. I don't know why they would take that away, first off. But two, still giving the chance of keeping around the some of this stuff from Karen Travis, where she introduced us to the fact that they had 100 trainers, and a good amount, like 75 of them were like Mandalorians, and 25 were, just a mishmash, a mishmash of random different cultures, so they kind of get a little mixture of the battlefield, or for the battlefield, I guess, something like that. Which would actually give us a chance to introduce those 3 bounty hunters that trained in trained Echo 5s and Heavy and and hard case. Or I think it was hard case, but anyways, that first little bit, those 3 bounty hunters, they would still, they would be the ones that would stay while like all the Mandalorians would leave. They would go to their own thing. Some of the Mandalorians would probably stay to help keep training clones. So they'd probably keep less amounts because they could use trained clones to train others. So you kind of get that, backstory of how things are going on the Camino and training, at least for the clones. So you know that the clones were trained and you can kind of get a feel. So that'd be kind of like a season 1 thing. And near the end of the season 1, then that's when a good chunk of them were sent off to Geonosis, and then the battle starts for Geonosis. And then you can kind of hear like back, like that last episode will be like during or last couple episodes would even be during Geonosis, on like the backside where they had like Republic Commandos going infiltrating while the main force was lined up the way it was in Attack of the Clones. So you could kind of get some similarities in that area, and then season 2 would start off like right after the Clone Wars, where they'd be sending certain clones on certain missions here and there. So there's a lot that they could do with that. I feel like it'd be a great way to introduce more clone trooper element. A lot of people love clone troopers. A lot of them love them more than any of the stormtrooper variants, even the new ones. I love the clone troopers. I would, if I had an army of choice, it would be clone troopers. They would, hands down, clone troopers. Yes, I know the Empire had more a little bit more specialization forces in their Imperial troopers, but clone troopers are all the way. Clone troopers, just they're better trained, they're better suited, and a lot of them. I feel like a lot of them could also still keep the Mandalorian element, from like Jango Fett and some of the other trainers that they were there. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of my idea. And then like I said, they would give more of a backstory to Gregor during, probably season 2 or 3. So you can kind of guess what's upcoming. So because they still got the story of Gregor to do. They got the story of Clone Force 99, some more story of Clone Force 99. Different ARC troopers could be brought in. And yeah, like, that'd be great. And maybe if they don't do the movie idea of Clone Force 99, they redo the episodes in a later season. They could easily, and I mean, or they do that, the last season, a movie for the last season, like a kind of a movie segue into everything, a movie for each season. And the movie for the first season would be, maybe instead of, a whole season about training, the movie is about all the training and stuff. And I wouldn't say that these movies would probably be released in theaters. If they were, great. If not, then, just throw them on the shelf and people would still buy them. I would. I would. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on, the future of Clone Wars, or at least the future of the Star Wars universe. I'm hoping that, Disney would take this idea. Granted, we'll see how they do on future Star Wars events. Some things are getting exciting. Some things are getting okay-ish. I'm kind of looking forward to Star Wars Solo, but at the same time, I'm kind of not. I don't know. Like, I don't care for the character Han Solo. That may shock some people, but I'd be the counterpart, Boba Fett, because that's my favorite character. So I'd be on that side. But still, Han Solo as a a movie, they may do really well with it. We'll see. I'm just hoping it's kind of like Rogue One, where it's like better than the new trilogy, in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on a new animated series for Star Wars, and it'd be about going back to the Clone Wars. It would be like one of the few different animated series that they could do on the side, along with their current main one. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Star Wars Commandos as a very optional animated series. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day.